Hello, everybody. Welcome to Kick the Can podcast, Super Bowl edition. Today, I'm going to be joined by my longtime friend, Larry Samele, and we're going to share a lot of stories about going to Super Bowls, watching Super Bowls, and the like, and we'll take it from there. So, how you doing there, Biz? You good?
Good. Good. Well, very happy to be back with you. I've been listening to all your podcasts, and I'm enjoying all of them. I just listened to the one with Frankie about the food, and I had a big smile on my face the whole time.
Yeah. Everybody, the feedback was great. You just take a little thing of walking down 187th of
Yep.
like 2 blocks, and that's all you really needed. You get all you wanted. So
Yep.
so I've been thinking about this episode for a long time because we have a rich Super Bowl history.
Yes, we
Uh,
do.
very fortunate to have gone to a lot of Super Bowls, but we also watched a lot of Super Bowls as young adults and always had a squad, and it was always a lot of fun. And
Yep.
I was looking for, like I said, I knew this would be a great episode to have you on because we always, we have a lot of memories. And not only we have the memories, but through the years we reminisce. You feel we always did a lot of reminiscing about the watching a game or going to the game.
Absolutely.
Right,
It was a big part of our football history. We started watching football about the time, maybe a little bit before Super Bowls became Super Bowls. In
right,
fact, I remember the first two were actually called the World Championships.
exactly.
And
AFC, AFL, NFL.
right. And growing up in the Bronx, I mean, we all grew up as Giant fans. They played right across the street. I remember going to see them practice at Fordham University, and take my father taking me over there, and hearing about Vince Lombardi, who also played at Fordham
Right,
University.
right,
We all kind of became Packer fans because the Giants weren't winning anything in those days,
right,
but the Packers were on top of the world.
right.
So the first two games were World Championships.
Yeah, and we connected to the Packers, like you say, because of the Vince
Absolutely.
Lombardi Fordham University connection.
Yep.
That's where we pretty much hung out, and you know, you eventually evolved into a Jet fan,
I
and
did. I was enamored with Joe Namath,
right,
and
a lot of people, they got on the Joe Namath.
right.
He made a lot of Jet fans, and they're still suffering from since then.
Oh my God! It's like you made a deal with the devil.
Yeah, for that one
You got
game.
you got that you got that one Super Bowl, and that was it. But
Yeah.
then again, it was I think that was the first one that was called a Super Bowl,
No.
and it really was the AFL against the NFL,
Right.
which was
Right.
a different league. It was a different league, so it didn't feel like you couldn't be a Giant fan and a Jet fan because I was.
Right. Right.
But yes, I became enamored with Joe Namath, and I started following the Jets a
Yeah.
lot more.
So I'm gonna press you right off the bat.
Hmm.
One or two. What's your favorite, most memorable Super Bowl that meant so much to you? But naturally, the Joe Namath one. Did you become a Jet fan after he won the Super Bowl?
No, no, no. It was a year or two before that.
I got
I,
when.
in fact, I remember him from college. He played at Alabama,
Right.
and I was a Namath fan then.
Right.
And then when he came to New York, I think the Jets actually started as the Titans around 1959, 1960, somewhere around that. So
Right.
we were
Right.
not fans then. We
Right.
knew about the AFL. There was the Boston Patriots, there was the Buffalo Bills, there was the Denver Broncos. So we knew about it, but it was like a fun league.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really wasn't competition for the
Right. Right.
NFL.
Right.
So the one that I remember the most, in fact, I watched it with you in your apartment, was after the Jets had won Super Bowl three. Everybody called it a fluke.
Right.
They were 18, 19 point underdogs, and they won the game, and everybody called the AFL a fluke.
Right.
But then the year after, the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Vikings, and that's when the NFL said,
Right.
"Oh wow, what are we doing?" we got to merge with this team, and they merged right
All
after.
right, they were exciting. Well,
So that was that.
wasn't Midget a Raider fan in our
Midget
building?
was a big AFL guy.
AFL,
Oakland Raiders. Oakland
right,
Raiders.
right.
Yep.
And they only had a few teams in the beginning, and,
Yeah, yeah.
and like I said, when the Jets won that year, and then I really didn't like. I tried to do I tried to go down memory lane with the games, like our era that we went to games, which was '84.
84 was our first game
Right,
in
which
Tampa.
was the eight. So you got to remind everybody. Even it was January of '84, but it's
It was
the
the
'83 season.
83 championship.
So it's
That's
a
right.
little bit. Actually, the football season is from '83, so '84, and then
Mm-hmm.
our last Super Bowl was 2007.
In Miami?
Yeah, Miami, and it
That's right.
was so seven. That's about 20 something years.
Yep.
16 and 25. That's like 40 years, right?
Yep. We were lucky enough
To know.
to have
No.
somebody in the entertainment business, Gary
Yeah.
Labriola,
Right.
and he was able to get tickets for face value. We never paid more than face
We
value.
never scalped.
And face value in those days was $30.
Yeah. Well,
Now the face value is over $1,000. That's just the face value.
I wanted to step back just a little. I meant to say for '84 to 2007 was 20. Let me add here. 16 and 7 is 23. So I think out of those 23 years of Super Bowls,
More than
No.
23.
no, what that
80.
we went. Our
Okay,
first one to
okay.
our last one.
Yep.
Was
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say. There was 23 Super Bowls. I think we went to 17. You know,
I went to 15. I think you went to a couple without me. I got married before you, so it wasn't that easy for me to travel a couple of years.
right. So those are the games that are really fresh because we've been to them. Some of them were great games, and some of them were blowouts and all. You know.
A lot of blowouts.
Yeah,
There
a
were
lot.
of blowouts.
I think the Super Bowls have gotten a lot better since we stopped going.
Yeah.
But out of the games that we went to, and actually the first one we were there together was in Tampa, and it was
Yep.
1984, and it wasn't like a stadium. It was like like a college stadium, wasn't it? Like the bench seats.
It was in Tampa, but I'm not sure if it was Raymond James or if it was.
No, it wasn't
before
Raymond
that.
James.
No, it
Tampa
wasn't Raymond
Stadium.
James.
You could probably look. I was going through the notes. I was just looking through the cities, but I found a list that had the stadiums too, and I think it was something called Tampa Stadium. I might be wrong, but if you remember, the tickets was it $64 or $65?
Probably. I remember being very cheap, and we were lucky enough that we didn't have to pay scalpers or above value.
Never.
So,
Well, we never did.
we never did.
And
Never did.
that was Gary's specialty.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, that first game in '84, we only went. I think it was just the four of us:
Yep.
Elliot, Gary, you, and me, if I remember right. And then,
And the limo drive.
yeah, right. Or the guy he sold the ticket to.
Yeah, the guy who sold the tickets.
And then moving on, you know, some of those games at Joe Robbie in the late '80s, early '90s, we were going to the game.
The game that sticks out in my mind is for me the best game was Montana had the drive against
The Bengals?
against Cincinnati where Boomer Esiason was the quarterback.
Yeah. And we won.
And they were down in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes left, and they got the ball, and Montana did his thing, and they scored, and they won the game.
Yeah, and I think we went to that game with like 40 people, which is unheard of. You know,
Yeah, well, that was Miami game.
well, you know, because I was living there at the time, and you know Gary and he had friends, and plus a lot of people flew in. I have a picture that we're going to put a lot of pictures up for this episode, and there's a group picture. You know, it's unheard of. You're doing like a tailgate at a Super Bowl like you would do at a Jet or Giant game. That was really memorable, and it was a great game.
Yeah, there were quite a few of those.
I remember that one game. John F. Kennedy Jr., the kid.
He sat in front of us.
That's right in front of us. And I remember also being a little boom bombed when we first sat down for like the first quarter. I think I dozed off at the beginning of the game.
I think Butchie was at that game.
Butch, we'll check that. I said we had no stone unturned. We would call.
We had a big crew.
And then that was one of the memorable because the tailgating and the game was good. Another game.
And the first Giants game that was going
to yeah,
Pasadena.
Yeah.
Against Denver. That was awesome.
86. That was 86.
No. Was it 86?
85 season, 86 Super Bowl, Pasadena. They win it. They win it at the end. And being a Giant fan, I was lucky to go to three Super Bowls with the Giants in them. Two of them they win, and one they sucked up against
in Tampa against Baltimore.
Exactly, the Ravens. That was a tough one to be at,
But
it didn't erase the feeling of being at the first two to see a team win.
Yeah,
really, I can't stress it enough. And
so you were at the one versus Buffalo when the guy missed the kick.
Yeah, wide right. Yeah, I was there too.
Wide right.
That was Tampa. That was Tampa.
I wasn't at that one. I was at the first one in Pasadena.
It was when I think something happened in the Middle East, and Bush they did something, and Whitney Houston sang the national anthem, and it was that famous rendition of the national anthem.
Yeah, that's been recorded and played back all over. A lot of people say it was the best one.
It was the first game that I went to with metal detectors to get in the stadium, and it was only my cousin Joe, myself, and Roy Wiseman and one of his friends. Nobody else. And we went to we went to Publix. We picked up one of those throwaway hibachis, a throwaway grill. Then my cousin Joe takes the back seat. I had a rent-a-car, like a Lincoln. He took the back seat out, and we tailgated with the back seat of the rent-a-car. So that was memorable. That was a great day.
So why was there metal? Why was there metal detectors?
Because we were at war. We just started a war with. Was it I think it was Iraq.
It must have been Desert Storm. Yeah, it must have been Desert
Storm. Right.
Yeah.
So
the other one I remember with.
Good.
The other one I remember with heightened security was the New Orleans right after 9/11.
Right. That was another. That was
people were giving away tickets. People were afraid to go inside the stadium.
It took us a long time to navigate the security, and that was. I don't remember. I think the Patriots were in that game. That would have been 2002. Yeah, the Patriots and the Rams. And
that was also a great game.
That was a good game. That was Brady's first MVP. I remember. Yeah. And it was a great game at the end. They come back at the end, the last drive. Yeah. But if you remember, inside it was the Louisiana Dome or the Superdome, whatever they called it. Yep. At halftime, it was U2 performing.
Yep. I remember that. Yep.
And they put all the victims of 9/11. They rolled their names over the top of the dome and down on the crowd. Remarkable feel. And,
See, I find different things remarkable. Like that was the game that the Patriots were pretty big underdog. I don't remember how many points.
Right.
But Danny Colaro bet them on the money line to win the game.
Oh yeah.
And he was sitting with us. Yeah. I told him he was crazy, but he won.
Yeah. No, that was an exciting game, and back then. New Orleans would get a Super Bowl every 2 or 3 years, and I always thought rightfully so. Because
New Orleans was the best place.
The best
place.
You
walk to the game.
Walk to the game, exactly.
Great bars, great restaurants.
You're not gonna go short for anything good to eat. It's just great everywhere you go. And but I think after Katrina, New
Yeah,
Orleans
New Orleans
really
Saints.
never came back.
Yeah, that
Excuse
that
me.
was that was that was the second Super Bowl we went to. Another thing I remember about that is we we met them for dinner. When we got there, Elliot told Gary we were all going out to dinner, and we had dinner with Dick Buckus and his son.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that, huh?
No.
It was a place called Tony's in New Orleans,
Okay.
and we all had dinner.
I'm going to try. I know like I said, we went to a couple of games in New Orleans, and I have a
Yeah,
lot of great pictures of those games and the crew that we had going here. We had like a core group of guys. Sometimes it
yeah.
was six or
Well,
eight.
more than anything else, it became a reunion for us. Where at least
Yeah.
once a year, the guys who lived in Florida and then
Right.
guys who were still up here, we got together
Uh,
and we had talked about it and we shared
yeah.
everything. It was great.
I,
Nothing but laughs.
I remember back in the day too. We wouldn't really go to the West Coast games, so we would go
Oh,
we would
we,
go down to
we,
Danny's or Gary's and watch the game together.
yeah.
Because there was a few. Like I think there was one a couple early in San Diego. We didn't go.
Yes, that's correct.
Uh,
We did go to Pasadena.
yeah, Rose Bowl, Giants and Bills, right?
What else is on the West Coast? Did we go to Stanford, the Stanford
Nope,
Stadium
nope,
that year?
didn't go there. We didn't go to.
We did go
Which
to San Diego at the end, towards the
I
end.
think the first one in Arizona.
Yes,
Arizona,
we went to
we
Arizona.
went
That's right.
there, right? The two San Diegos, I know we didn't go during that
One game we
stretch.
did go. We did go once to San
Yeah,
Diego. I remember because
yep,
we had dinner with Lawrence Taylor.
right, and that was I have that Bucks and Raiders oh
Bucks and Raiders.
03, oh 03 San Diego,
Okay.
and then we sort of fizzled out going. You know,
Yeah.
the
Yeah. I
connections.
guess they weren't in cities where we really wanted to be at, or
Right. And you know what, too? It was a big schlep to go there for 3 days. You
I know.
know,
I never minded that. It was always fun. Always a good
oh,
time.
yeah, and some of them were dogs. I know
Yeah.
you didn't make, I think there were two in Minneapolis.
Minneapolis. I know I didn't make that one, and
There
then
were,
the Giant Buffalo game I didn't make. That's
that
for
was in
sure.
Tampa. That's what I was just
That was okay.
talking
Yeah.
about, yeah. But other than
Yeah.
that, we would, the Florida games were fabulous. And Gary would say, after he just came up with 40 tickets for everybody, the game wasn't even over yet. He would be saying, I'm never doing this again.
Right.
Forget it. And then you guys were, getting in rowboats, going up to yachts on the Intracoastal to pick up two tickets.
Yes, we did. We did. We
It
did
was
have to do that one
an
time.
adventure.
And another time I remember we having people in the group that we didn't quite have enough tickets and stopping on the way to the
On
game
the
to pick up
turnpike.
tickets
Yeah, we got off one of
on the
the exits
turnpike.
of the turnpike.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people promised us tickets, especially the owner of the New England Patriots. One
Yeah,
time, I can't remember the game,
yeah.
but he promised us tickets, and then he reneged on the tickets.
Right. And back in the day, the NFL took over a city. That's how the Sinatra shows got tangled up with the NFL because
Hmm.
whatever city it was, the NFL became the landlord of the arenas. If there was open venues, open air stadiums, concerts, all the hotels, they had control of everything. So
Yeah,
in those years with the Sinatra shows, Sinatra would usually sing on Friday night and Adios, and then
yeah,
we would have all the hotel rooms,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then some of the cities were
Thinking,
good.
thinking, thinking back, what a brilliant business move that was for Elliot
Yeah,
to schedule all those
yeah,
shows
and
and the people.
yeah, I think it's still
The people.
for seasons. It still goes that way because I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
we haven't gone in a long time, but I'm sure there's a lot more to do in these cities than NFL experience.
yeah,
You
yeah.
want to go to another kind of concert, dependent country western, whatever you like. I'm sure it's all there.
Well, that was a big reason why we were able to get tickets because the people in town all wanted Sinatra tickets,
Yeah,
and we
right.
exchanged them for Super Bowl
Yeah.
tickets.
That was some maneuvering like that. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Did
yeah, very good.
in another game that comes to mind? Actually, two more. Uh, Remember when Bears and was it Bears and Patriots?
Yeah, that was the first one in New Orleans.
And then the fridge. I had that big. I don't
You
gamble at
you had
all.
you had the
I had the
you had the
$10,000.
you had
Yeah,
right. You had 44-10 if I remember right.
yeah.
And they scored a safety and made it 46-10.
Yeah. So there you go. That's why I never really gambled. The handwriting was on the wall. Uh, and
Bullies come over.
yeah, the voice of doom.
Yeah.
Another exciting one was the Titans almost got that touchdown with time
Against the
ran
Rams.
out. With time ran
Great.
out.
That was great. Where was that game? You remember?
What was it? Rams
Rams and Titans.
and Titans. That was in Atlanta.
Atlanta, that's right.
2000.
Was that when it snowed in Atlanta?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
The city was
Yeah,
paralyzed.
yeah.
Wow.
we had to connect through Philadelphia. It was all messed up going, and
The city was paralyzed.
Right.
It was a sheet of ice. They had no idea what to do
the
with snow.
the roads were impassable. They didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So that made it really a memorable time. You know, to go back even before we started going to the games, probably the mid-'70s, we started to watch the games with our group of guys. It was at Louis' apartment.
Yeah.
And I think Louis' dad was probably still alive when he first started, maybe mid-'70s. And then,
Okay.
and once Louis' dad passed away, he had the apartment, and the Super Bowl was a ritual for us.
That was our club.
Yeah, that was the spot to go.
And it was but you got to remember, in those days, it was only the history of the Super Bowls was only about 15 games per game.
Right.
And they used to show the highlight reel for all the games with the NFL guy with the voice in the background.
Yeah.
And we used to love it. We knew those things by heart.
Yep. And there was the guys had nicknames for like when we were all watching the score during the season. Bad News Brent Musburger would always give you the score.
Musburger.
The score when you had the wrong side. You got the wrong side.
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
You got the wrong side.
But we really enjoyed that, and we really learned a lot because, you watch the game again and again and again, the same game, and we remember everything about the game.
Yeah,
especially those early games with the Packers, Max McGee.
Right, the Packers. So like the mid-'70s, I didn't log any of those because we didn't go to them. But it was Packers and Steelers were the powerhouse, I think, in those years.
The first two Super Bowls were World Championships, whatever they were called.
Yeah, that was in the '60s, though. That was in the '60s.
That was in the '60s.
Yeah, I'm talking about mid to late '70s.
Yes. Yeah. It was more Dallas and
Dallas too, exactly. Dallas too, and Dallas. Even on the games we went to, Dallas, the Bills were in tons of games. Dallas.
Right. We saw Dallas beat the Bills, I think, 3 times.
Yeah. And we saw the Bills lose to the Giants too. So that was and the Vikings never won anything.
The Vikings never won. Yeah.
They were good back in those.
They had good teams. I think they lost 4 Super Bowls also.
Yeah. They could never win anything there. It was we always circled the calendar for the Super Bowl, especially when we were going, what city,
Yeah, it was great.
So sometimes we would go to the city. We went to Jacksonville or Orlando. We didn't even care.
Right. How many cities that we've never been to before? Or maybe you did when you traveled with the Stars later on. But so many cities that I had never been to before.
Yeah.
Atlanta, San Diego, Pasadena.
The ones that stick out too that I know we didn't go. I look at those cities like you said before was Minneapolis. That was horrible. It was freezing.
Okay.
The stadium was horrible. And then
weren't you seated next to a broken speaker?
Yeah. There was a big hanging speaker buzzing the whole time. And then Detroit. We didn't go to Detroit either for that game.
No, we didn't go to Detroit.
But there's not that many of them during that run that we didn't go to.
Well, they always tried to keep them in warm
Yeah,
weather places.
yeah,
So that's why we were able to go to a lot of these games. That
yeah.
made sense.
Right, and if they had
In
a dome.
Florida, there was only Tampa and Miami.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, and then they gave Jacksonville that one, and they had
Jacksonville,
not
right?
enough hotel rooms, and
Right,
we just
right.
stayed. I think we were staying at the Hard Rock in Orlando, so
Yeah,
we just
that's
watched the
correct.
game there on a big screen.
Yeah, yeah,
Usual suspects were there. That was a fun time too.
yeah. It's one wonderful memory. So looking forward to this game as we watch all these games. They're not as special as they used to be, but still enjoy
Yeah,
watching them.
yeah. And, actually, what makes the Super Bowl a little special is some of the entertainment. We touched on U2 in the the one after 9/11, and back when we used to go, I mean, they had some quirky entertainment. I think that
They had like the beginning. It was like Up with America and those groups where you held up the cards. There was no major entertainment.
even before that, in that first one we went to, I think it was just a college marching band for halftime.
That's exactly what it was.
You know,
It was
and then it started to ramp up with Disney had some themes and
yes, yeah.
but the first one that I wrote on my little list, I tried to look up who the games that we went to was pretty much 93 in the Rose Bowl was Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson. What a show that
You
was.
know?
If you remember, there was a scene where he's singing on the field and then he disappears, and 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes later, maybe a minute later, he's standing on top of the scoreboard dancing.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll never forget that.
How about the one? I don't know if you were there. I think it was Diana Ross. That was
from my point of view, that was the best one we ever saw.
That was in '96 in Arizona.
She was singing on the field.
Yeah.
And a helicopter came to pick her up off the field, and she was still singing as she flew away.
I mean,
And
really.
you still heard it through the frequency.
Hats off to her, but she.
Yeah.
That
was great.
She had the nerve.
She was past the prime at that point too, I think.
Yeah, but that's even that was
what a Super Bowl.
That was unbelievable. I know there was Stones played in one. I don't know if we went to that one. I think we did.
I mean, I know we saw Gloria Estefan.
Right. That was in '92. I had that on my list. And
Tony Bennett, I remember seeing
Tony Bennett. Yeah, he did like a medley with there was like a pop singer, like a Justin Timberlake or the Backstreet Boys or something, and he was on that one too.
There was the Motown guys, the Temptations, and the Four Tops.
Yeah. Those were good. Now there's really not a big enough star like that. I don't think. They have to go with the who's hot.
Oh, not to us, but
now
there's a lot of people that people go crazy for.
Yeah,
like I remember a couple of years ago that Bruno Mars.
Yeah,
Bruno Mars was huge.
Yep. And
I think he just sold out 5 shows in the Meadowlands for a concert
recently.
It's now for this year.
Oh, so he still stayed popular.
He's major.
Yeah,
he's major.
I know. And my wife likes Bruno Mars.
Yeah,
he did.
No, he's a good entertainer.
Yeah,
very good entertainer.
Yeah, I tell you, it was fun. You never left your seat. Now I watch it on TV, I can go get a snack during the halftime because it's just not like how the entertainers reach their fame now is so different. Like streaming or you heard about this band or whatever. I don't know.
Yep.
Different times.
This year, you're not going to watch Bad Bunny, Paul?
No, I'm not.
No, what a surprise.
I'm not going to watch it. I don't know.
I believe it's all in Spanish.
Yeah,
but I could be wrong.
I mean, I guess they know what they're doing. A lot of the the Super Bowl is maybe passing us by a little bit too. Sign of the times. The young people, the players, they're all young. So and diverse football. Everybody loves football. Even I have to, watch a horrible team every year, loads of commercials, loads of penalties, disrespect the national anthem. You take your pick, but I still watch, and I don't gamble. I don't bet on the games. So,
Yeah, I still watch.
it's a great concept, and and if you get together with folks, you go see my sons, or it's just a get together kind of a
It's a
thing.
national holiday. That's what it is.
Yeah.
In fact, they were talking about extending the season one more game and having the Super Bowl coincide with Washington's President's Day weekend.
Okay.
So there's always the holiday the next day.
You always hear people or switching it to a Saturday. I guess you could switch it to Saturday, but it would cut
Sunday.
Yeah, plus it would cut short these cities that they're counting on the cash revenue. Everybody starts leaving town on Sunday morning instead of Monday morning. It's a big nut for them to.
Yeah.
So I like it on Sunday. It's okay. It's not over that late. It's 10 o'clock. If it's not your team that's winning it, you're not watching the ceremonies. Trophy thing or speeches or whatever. So it's not. It's not. But I'm excited about the game.
Yeah, I'm always excited. This is something we grew up with, and it's been a big part of our lives, and we'll continue to watch as long as we're around.
What's the line on the game?
I believe it's 4.5.
4.5?
I believe it's Seattle 4.5. That was the last time I saw it.
Seattle's favorite 4.5?
Seattle's favorite 4.5, yeah.
And now that I just talk about the gambling side of it, when we went to Vegas for the Super Bowl and drove to Scottsdale.
Scottsdale, right.
We left real early in the morning. Plus, we made all those bets at Vegas. This was before legal gambling, right? All those prop bets, coin toss.
Right. Vegas was before all these betting sites happened. Vegas was still the place to bet for a lot of the country.
Yeah,
they didn't grow up the way we did.
Yeah, no.
Well, we had a guy taking action on every corner.
Right. It was a different time, but Vegas was fun. Even I had a stack.
Awesome.
I had a stack of tickets, and then we drove to Scottsdale that morning. We went through the Grand Canyon.
It was about a 5 or 6 hour drive.
Right. And
I think we hit the Grand Canyon on the way back.
Oh, on the way back? Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I have a picture of that, too. It was definitely get out of the car, take a picture, get back in the car. That was a fun trip. We had a good crowd.
Did you have a picture of Danny's friend, Danny Calaro's friend or cousin, whatever he was, that we had to take with us? Meanwhile, he's on a plane. He's on a Learjet with Gary.
Right. They doing private jet. We drove.
What was his name? Not Fuzzy, but something like that.
Fudgy. Yeah, Fudgy. We had Danny's guys, Mike Sange and Fudgy, and Danny's
Joe was there.
My cousin Joe plus Danny's nephew Joey.
Right. The soldier.
Yeah, right. So it was tough sledding for us, but we could break balls. That's the good thing. And Mike Sange is good. He's a good ball buster too.
Oh yeah.
And then we just had no room after the game. We just went to like one of those golf resorts, and we were able to get like a small suite, and we just all crashed. And the next day we drove back to Vegas. That was a fun trip too. To make a
stopped at the Grand Canyon for 5 minutes.
Yeah. I'll try to put. I have a picture of that. I'll try to put it up. I'll put up a couple of those group shots.
This is the Grand Canyon. Oh, it's unbelievable. Look at this place.
Yeah, wow.
All right, let's go.
Come on.
All right,
let's go. Hey, either you're a sightseer or you're not. Some people would have made that trip from Vegas to Scottsdale. Would have made like a 3-day affair out of it. And we were like, no speed limits, or very high speed limits too on those interstates going across. That was a fun trip.
If I remember right, that was out of college, right? Wasn't that at like Arizona
State University?
Tempe,
yeah.
Tempe, was it Tempe?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the college's stadium. It was nice. That was
Why would they put a Super Bowl there?
There were getting ready to see.
Well, the Cardinals might have not been there yet.
Let me see when that was. Tempe. That had to be 2000. Yeah, I don't remember. That was 1996. Tempe was the Diana Ross one. We were just talking about that.
Okay. That's Diana Ross. Okay,
Yeah.
they're very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great halftime show.
Yeah.
I'll never forget it. And it doesn't get really publicized. People don't talk about it. You never show it on TV.
Right.
But that was just being there and watching that was unbelievable.
Yeah. If everybody listening, try to see a clip of that helicopter picking up Diana Ross and just carrying her out of the stadium, and she's still singing.
And she's still singing, and you still hear it perfectly clear through the stadium.
And I don't know if we were sitting together. Sometimes we don't all sit together at these games.
Right.
But I saw that I was in the end zone, and I saw that helicopter off in the distance. Didn't really know, but it was inching its way over, and all of a sudden it was over the stadium, and holy shit! It's gonna pick her up.
Yeah.
Maybe Matt could find a clip of that. He gets right on these things, you know.
And we always had the flyovers with the Jets.
Yeah.
Also. That was pretty awesome to see. That you can't appreciate on TV.
No.
Until those things are roaring over your head.
Yeah. One of the Super Bowls who had like a quiet bomber. It just didn't make any noise. You remember that one? It might have been later.
The stealth bomber.
Yeah, it was huge and just one.
It was eerie. It was eerie. It went across the stadium without almost a sound.
Yeah. And we always had an eclectic crew. We just talked about from Vegas to Scottsdale. But, you know, with Gary running the ticket operation, we would always get Gary's father, Tony, and Billy would come. Extra laughs when they were there. We would always say, my cousin Joe would say,
"He labbed out."
Yeah, we're all labbed out because Gary had like the extra baggage of them two, and Billy had no off switch.
Vito was a lot of laughs.
Oh, forget it. Right to the end. A character. Tough to go with Billy. And then he always had like somebody in his life, whoever was the babysitter helping them out with Boomer. All right, you can come. Well, all right, you come to the Super Bowl too. You know, right. And then Abel and his wife Barbara, they hitched up, and Abel was a regular. Yeah,
Abel was a regular.
Yeah, he was always took care of the bookkeeping for us. And then when we didn't go to the game and we went to Gary's or stayed at Danny's and watched the game with Gary, his family was there. And I remember Abel's son, he liked to rough it up. What was he, like 11? He wanted to know the lines and all of that. Yeah, funny kids.
I can't remember his name. I'm trying to remember his
name.
I can't
Blake. Blakey. Gary would call him Blakey.
Blakey. Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah.
Always fun.
No, it was a good run. And right to the end, so the first game I think was $65 the face value, and the last one in 07 was $750. So face value. And I think all the tickets are the same price no matter where you are. It's just when you scalp them.
Well, you got to remember the NFL sets the price.
And the scalping is going to get more on the 50-yard line than end zone or nosebleed.
Right.
Also, I got to make sure I put up. I got to get at least one or two ticket stubs, Matt.
I have the picture somewhere of us at the Super Bowl going to a party with ZZ Top.
Yeah.
I hope to find that picture. I'll send it to you.
I'll tell you, I have that list of ZZ Top was in San Diego in 1998. But I
think you got a good list there.
Yeah, I had this list. I guess when I stopped going to Super Bowls, I wanted to reflect on the history of all the games. and
Hmm.
stuff. But you would think, yeah, because in San Diego, that one strip of the bars and where the bands played, that was sort of like a New Orleans Mardi Gras kind of a setting. I remember.
Yeah, it was downtown, the
Yeah.
Gaslight area,
So
that they
you
call it.
think we took pictures with ZZ Top and they were performing the next day?
No, no,
No, I think it was in
no, I
New
don't think so.
Orleans where we saw
I
ZZ
think it was
Top.
just I was at a party and they were there.
Right, right,
There was a Super Bowl party that we went to and they were there.
right. San Diego,
Yeah.
whatever.
Uh,
I don't
If
know.
you remember San Diego, I don't remember San Diego, but I don't remember where it was. I know it was like an NFL party
I think we only went to San Diego once with Gary.
when we had dinner with Lawrence Taylor.
Right, right. So I don't. Uh, you know, we would. We're not going there. It's a West Coast game. We always
Too
worked
far.
around it. Yeah, and even as recently, I think around 20. Remember, I started to go down to Orlando with Gino, Eddie Boots,
Yes.
and Louie
Yes.
with our wives, and we did it for like 2 years, 2 3 years, and you know what? It was still fun, because
Of course it was.
it didn't matter, 40 years later. It was a lot of fun, and then we watched
It's
the
the
game.
it's the company. That's
Right,
what it is.
right, and the history of
We're always gonna laugh.
those were
Right.
fun. I was disappointed that it fizzled out a little bit, but it was a nice little it come full circle. You know what I mean? We started it watching pretty much really young. We were pretty much just me and you, or whatever. But as young adults, we started at Louis' house, and then for myself and Gino and Eddie, who were part of that crew at
Yep.
Louis' house back in the '70s. We got to go away, and then we came full circle and watched the games together.
Yeah.
You know,
That was like going to church watching those Super Bowls. We were always
yeah.
together.
Plus, it was every Sunday anyway, leading up to the Super Bowl. You know,
Yep.
it was.
Yeah, they started running. They started running those reruns of all the games, the highlight
Yeah,
games,
yeah.
highlight reel.
They
Those are
condense it
great.
down and do the whole
Dun, dun,
Super
dun, dun,
Bowl.
dun, 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 dun. The music
Right,
playing in the
that guy,
background.
the voice, and the guy's
The
voice.
voice. Yeah, the guy's
Yeah,
voice. I'll never forget.
they must still do that. They must still do that.
I'm sure. I'm sure they
You
do. But
know,
now there's 60 Super Bowls to look at.
yeah. Maybe they pick. They show them the the teams that are in it now. You can show. Well, the Patriots they're a highlight reel all to themselves, win or lose.
Yep. Yep.
Tom Brady. Yeah, I think I was in Orlando with those guys, and then where I guess it was Tampa Bay, and they got that interception at the very end, and Tom Brady won it. The game was like over, and they threw the ball and they made an interception, and I think Tampa Bay won. That was a Tampa Bay game with Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was good memories. Trying to think
Remember.
any of the other close ones or
Even when we went to Florida and Gary's house to watch the games, it was always a good crowd. And
yeah,
it was a lot of nights.
good food and
Yep.
no travel, no car rides, just
Right.
yeah, those were fun. So even though we didn't go to the games, we still got together. Got to see
Yep.
Danny and
Yep.
everything. So I'm going to be heading down to Florida in about 10 days, and
Nice.
hopefully I'll see Danny. Matt set me up with some kind of remote. So Kick the Can is going to be flexing his muscles. So fasten your seatbelt. I'm going to be.
Matt, bring a couple of Heineken. See if we can get Danny to drink them.
Yeah,
He won't shut up.
yeah. No, it's the same thing. The stories just flow right out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he came a lot of Super Bowls too.
Oh yeah, Danny was right there,
And he always,
without a doubt.
we had the whole crew. Gary's father too, like we mentioned. So I don't.
I remember one where Tony Lapp was with us, and we were backstage. I think Liza had a concert, and we were backstage and just hanging out backstage. And the first celebrity that came in that we were talking to was Boom Boom Mancini.
Okay, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he was hanging out with us, and we were talking, telling stories. Lab had the best stories because he knew all the old boxes.
Right, right.
And then I remember also that same show, Barry Manilow came backstage and went into Liza's dressing room. He had a big mink coat on.
Yeah,
Yeah, the little things you remember, right?
yeah, yeah. I'm trying to scrape up a few more good memories. Super Bowl or travel. Yeah, it's
Well,
good
we're not,
stuff.
we're not dead. We're not dead yet, man.
Yeah,
So we'll,
yeah,
we'll keep
yeah.
we'll keep going.
No, we got some good memories. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. What
That's why it's funny to hear when you're talking about it yourself, or when you have a guest on,
yeah,
and we have the same memories, the same exact memories.
yeah,
We miss
yeah,
a few details here and there, but
yeah,
it's just interesting to hear.
yeah. It's and when I decided to start to do this, I told you, I just was looking to talk and tell stories, and tell stuff, but to get people thinking like just like you, whether it was an altar boy story or a food story, yeah, just fun stuff. And
Yep.
a lot of folks that aren't from the neighborhood, they really want to see like a Google Earth map of where we were walking, where was the pizza shop. So,
Right.
I asked Matt for so many things, but I got,
It is doable, but is
yeah,
it worth
no,
it?
this is a part time.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I-
There's
I'm
no doubt.
going to I'm going to start kicking back a little bit at work, probably in the summer, and I'm going
Hmm.
to have a lot. Matt has a lot of ideas, and so do I. And I'm just going to go and take the camera and like these other clowns on social media. Make a
Good.
comment, take a picture of a slice of pizza, and see where it
There you
goes.
go.
That's going to be
There you
my.
go.
Oh, you're going to stop working? Well, you got no hobbies. I got one now.
Now you got one. There you
I'm
go.
a
There you go.
Matt says I'm a content creator. Oh boy.
You are. Well, I hope you keep doing them because I'll,
Yeah,
I'll still
thank you.
keep listening. I'll still keep laughing.
Yeah, and keep your wheels spinning, because I figure I'm gonna rotate like you, Frankie, and Steven, and a few other as we get down the road. Start bringing some more people in, friends
Yeah.
from now. So the good topics are always something good to talk about because there's so much out there to touch upon. Cars, nicknames. I think I got somebody coming on when I come back from Florida to do a nickname episode. That's going to
Great.
be hilarious. So I'm looking
Great.
forward to that. That's going to be great.
There we go. There
Yeah.
we go.
All right, let's wrap it up.
I hope you guys all pick winners or your boxes come in. Enjoy the Super Bowl. We always will.
Yeah, thank you, Larry, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye,
All
Phil.
right, bye, everybody.